what a day this is to be here as well. And in this business, on this show, we try to be nuanced. We try to have a gray area. We try to find the smart take here. But on a day like today, when the Cowboys lose to the Saints, when the Cowboys lose to the Chiefs like that in front of the whole country, and then that's after the Browns barely beat the Detroit Lions. Baker Mayfield doesn't speak to the media afterwards. He just spoke to them today. And is he too banged up to play? And if so, why aren't they playing Case Keenum if he's well enough to play? And it's just there's a lot of odd stuff again surrounding Baker Mayfield in Cleveland. And then last night, LeBron James on the free throw. I guess he's not on the line, but he's getting ready to try and box out on the free throw lane, and he throws his left arm up with a closed fist, connects with a member of the Detroit Pistons, Isaiah Stewart, who goes, what was the phrase? His ham? Is that the phrase, right?
Well, he saw his own blood.
He saw his own blood. And again, anybody who thinks that he lost it or whatever, well, he did, or he couldn't, control his emotions. He got hit in the face. Again, I've never been hit in the face by LeBron James. I proffer to say I wouldn't look as good as Isaiah did.
He got blasted in the face.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, very did.
Yeah.
And he could not be controlled. He did not leave the court in a timely manner. That's one way to put it.
He did not.
When that's all happened, it sets up the for a show like this one in a competition slot like this one, the wheel of trolls. Can we spin it? There it is. Oh God, very very loud, very very loud. Okay, and stop. It's going to stop right here, and it stops on the Dallas Cowboys. And everybody is piling on Dallas Cowboys right now. Irv piled on Amari Cooper before the game yesterday because he's not vaccinated. He can't believe that he's not vaccinated. And of course, I'll just raise my hand here to tell you, you can get COVID despite being vaccinated. The issue is when you're unvaccinated, you're out for 10 days. That's it. You're out. And when you're out for this one on Sunday, you're definitely out for the next Thursday. He's missing Thanksgiving, and this team does not look the same without him. He might not be the most prolific receiver in the game, but he definitely attracts a ton of attention. And that also allows CeeDee Lamb to be put in the slot where he's a much better receiver. It's good that Gallup is back. Going to see a lot of Cedric Wilson, but now that CeeDee Lamb is out potentially for this Thursday game, because he couldn't return with a head injury on Sunday, if he's concussed and he doesn't pass concussion protocol in the next couple of days, you got a Thanksgiving game coming up without both of them again. Now, the Raiders have not performed well of late. If you've noticed, they have not won a game since Henry Ruggs killed that poor woman. There's no other way to put it. And I think this is something that the Raiders still, understandably, have not either gotten over X's and O's wise or just in terms of just in general. And I think the Raiders so far, over the last 3 weeks, have not looked at all like the team that we saw, even when they lost their coach. So I think the Dallas Cowboys welcome the Las Vegas Raiders into their house, and they should win that football game. They should win this football game. And I think the Dallas Cowboys are actually going to be, wait for it, just wait for it. Cowboys are going to be all right.
How bad was Zeke banged up, TJ? He rolled his ankle, right?
He rolled it, and then he left, and then apparently he gave a thumbs up that he was okay.
Yeah.
But then he did come back.
Right.
But, let me tell you, Tyron Smith not being on that line, I mean, I realize everybody's missing players, obviously.
Gents.
But when he's not there, man, it makes such a difference.
Gents, Zeke's going to hop in the kettle.
Well, he'll get fined for that, so he shouldn't.
Zeke's gonna do something. And I am not concerned about the Cowboys. How does that sound? You win some, you win a lot, you'll lose some. If they lose, if we come back on the air after Thanksgiving because they've lost to the Raiders,
I would be surprised.
Then I would not only be surprised, then I'd be a little bit concerned.
Yeah, I'll accept all the grief
because that's the way though that they wind up in the 4 seed. You want to be that 4 seed. You don't want to face the loser of the NFC West. I will say that to you right now.
Rich, that's true, but we had a caller on Friday who made a good point about the Cowboys being 3-1 at home in the playoffs, but also I don't feel like we have that much of a home advantage when we're at home at AT&T.
Because it's a cavern, man.
Yeah, so
it's 100,000 cavern.
Going on the road, I don't know if that's
all right.
Such a bad thing for
All
them.
right, spin the wheel, Mike. Can you spin the wheel again? It was very loud. It's very, very loud. Spin the wheel again. There you go. Okay. And it stops on Baker. It stops on Baker Mayfield. Okay, Wheel of Trolls stops on Baker Mayfield.
Take out the trash.
Did not look good at all again. Did not look good at all again against the Detroit Lions. It's just been, isn't it amazing? 2 weeks ago, he was killing it. He crushed it in Cincinnati. Crushed it. Then the Patriots made him look bad. But guess what? The Patriots have been making everybody look bad. And then the Detroit Lions come in their house, and they, by the hair of their chinny chin chin, they won it. Mayfield leaves the field without his teammates. Just goes off the field.
Bounced.
And said today, as well as his teammates said today, he celebrated with them in the locker room. He just wanted off the field for whatever his reasoning. I think he's just feeling it with the fans right now. Let's just repeat as well. His wife got involved in all this. Apparently, she put on her Instagram, this is how crazy it works. The word came in that she put on her Instagram stories, hey, essentially some line about if everybody else could try as hard, that would be great. And as it presently goes, his wife regrams or just puts on her Instagram stories people from the Browns after every game celebrating, certainly after a win.
Yeah.
And one of those stories that she put up there was of a fan who basically said, if only other people on the team tried as hard. And then she took it down. But the story was that she said it herself and had to take it down. So, Baker might be a little ornery right now with the way that things are being spun. Certainly if he needs to be in the cold tub all the time. This was Baker Mayfield today being asked about the fans.
Baker, what did you make of some of the booing there in the second half from the fans?
Those are probably the same fans that won't be quiet while we're on offense and trying to operate, so don't really care.
There you go.
I think I need that don't really care. As a
There
drop.
you go. There's a drop,
Yes,
Mikey.
yes,
The don't
Mike.
really care
Yes.
as a drop is fantastic.
Don't really care.
I don't really care.
So
I like that.
here's the way I just my 2 cents that Baker, either will take or doesn't care about or hopefully does. I just wouldn't stoop down. I honestly, to basically say that you don't care about fans will never work out for anybody, anywhere, ever. And I totally would understand it that he would get upset at people booing him when he's trying his ass off. And I totally understand that his wife probably got caught up in some sort of meat grinder with this whole thing. And I wouldn't blame him for being upset about that either. But as you know, sometimes you just can't resist going straight at stuff. And it just won't serve. It just doesn't serve well. It doesn't end well for a lot of people.
I don't think he cares.
He does care. Play that again. Of course he cares. You could see the derision in his voice right now. You could see it.
But he doesn't care how he comes across to the fans. He cares.
Of course he does. We all do care. Go for it. Play it one more time.
Baker, what did you make of some of the booing there in the second half from the fans?
Those are probably the same fans that won't be quiet while we're on offense and trying to operate, so don't really care.
And so we don't have to say what were they really thinking, because that's really what he's thinking. And again, I greatly appreciate whenever a soundbite is delivered, but for somebody that it just doesn't work out well. It doesn't work out well for a lot of people.
But if you're a fan that's not booing, you're not going to take offense to that.
Let me just say this to the fans that are booing Baker Mayfield right now. And I'll just repeat what I said for weeks coming in. Do you want Spurgeon win back? Do you really think Case Keenum is the answer? Do you forget what it's been like this entire time? Do you forget? Honestly, do you want that revolving door back? Do you want Hugh Jackson back in there starting Tyrod Taylor over this kid? Do you want, what do you want? You want wins and you want to start boat racing people. I totally understand it. Your line's not healthy. You're not there. And you're just 2 weeks removed from him going in, and I gave him the proper attaboy, what he did against the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah. Is that what you want? And guess what? We could be 6 days removed from him doing that to the Ravens, and then all of a sudden everything's hunky-dory. He's going on a bye, and you're like, let's rest up, Baker, because we can't do this with Case Keenum. That's how stupid it's how stupid it is.
Yeah.
You're 6-5. You didn't lose. Now then, spin it one more time. And I think I know what we're going to stop on. I think I know it. Spin it one more time. The Wheel of Trolls. Wheel of Trolls.
No whammies.
All right, stop. It stops on LeBron James hitting somebody. Now look.
Here we go.
This is the mother lode. LeBron James. That's number one. Number two, LeBron James draws blood on an opponent.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the opponent goes absolutely off the rails.
Very large man.
Okay. Like you understand, like when it's bleeding, you're tasting blood in your mouth, which Isaiah Stewart was, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so you're seeing that visual, and he wants a piece of LeBron, which I think half of America wants as well. And so he wants a piece of LeBron. The Lakers are clearly not going to allow a piece of LeBron to be had. And now you can talk about LeBron James hitting somebody whose reaction, now you're talking about, is the reaction proper or not? On top of it, the proper reaction, if you think that's proper, that means you're ready to really troll on LeBron really hard. Because that's not a proper reaction after about 2 minutes of you making your point. Go get your blood cleaned up and don't get suspended, which he's going to get suspended. In Detroit, within days of the Malice in the Palace being talked about. But it's in the moment. Totally get it. It's totally in the moment. And after a while, he's got to leave in a timely fashion, even though he's not the one who started it.
Yeah.
Although you're hearing that there was an elbow and stuff like that. But long story short, now you get to talk about is he a dirty player or not. How about this? LeBron's not a dirty player.
Right.
LeBron needs to be a little bit more careful with the way that he throws his arms and his hands and his fists around.
Yep.
He should be suspended for it because there is actual precedence of a player inadvertently hitting somebody and drawing blood and being suspended. The NBA, if they really want to show something about this, will do it before he's one game in Madison Square Garden. Or they could have it under advisement, let him play that, and then have him suspended for 2 games, if you really want to do that. And then Stewart's got to be suspended for his reaction. You can't have players running around like that and have your own team security, NBA security, try and corral him. You can't do that. That thing can really spill out of control and spin out of control.
Especially in that building.
Of course.
So.
How about that we can say that both deserve suspensions and that the reaction was not appropriate after the usual of I want to fight him and the circling back once and then running down the hallway.
Mm-hmm. So does he get more games than LeBron?
I think he's going to wind up with that. Yeah.
So it's just like a 2-1 situation? We don't want to suspend these guys for like a week.
You can't have a reaction like that.
I mean, at the end, it looked like the Cal Stanford band play, where he was just running, running through people, pushing them out the way, like band members. There's a guy with the tuba,
he was throwing
blasting
his own
him.
coaches. You could see that crazy look in his eye, like, get off me.
Well, again, he got hit in the face and he's tasting blood, and I think he feels, disrespected.
Yeah, for sure.
But to be able to come on a show like this one and talk about, is LeBron James a dirty player?
I think that's ludicrous.
I mean,
the guy's got how many years?
I mean,
18,
no.
19 years?
That you could add that to your LeBron hating arsenal. I mean, for many hosts, I'm just not going to take that cheese. I never will.
By the way,
but,
guys,
I mean, this is a big day.
If LeBron's going to decide to become a dirty player, did you see the size of this man? 6'8", 250. That's not the dude who I'm all of a sudden going to decide to knuckle up with.
Well, by the way, great Wheel of Trolls, guys.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.